Hi there, this is Parth and welcome to new video guys. In this video we are going to discuss about the Straggered HDR, which is the latest HDR technique developed by the Google. Normally we see the HDR and HDR plus techniques, but now Google has developed another advanced method of the HDR, that is the HDR, Straggered HDR. So in this video we are going to discuss about it, but first let's discuss concept of the HDR. What is the HDR? HDR stands for the high dynamic range. So for an example, how this is going to affect in the real-time scenarios. Let's take an example. For an example, if you are shooting video, or let's say you are shooting a photo or any kind of a static image, and let's say you are shooting one image in the very dark environment where the light is not in the sufficient amount, and another scenario that is too much light is available in that particular area, and you are taking photo in that area. So whenever this kind of what you say contrasting situation happens, then generally our smartphone is not having the bigger sensors if you compare it with the DSLRs and stuff. So generally this kind of a smartphone struggle in very low light or very bright environment to control the colors and exposure, and put it into the what exactly the image is. Many smartphone in this particular scenarios fails to reproduce the real life images, or what exactly the image is. It is tends to get different colors and warmer tones or the cooler tones. So this is the basically problem of the every smartphone with the too much light or the too much less light. Whenever this kind of situation happens, then most of the smartphone struggles. Now with the concept of the HDR, what happens is, let's say you are taking photo in the area where there is not sufficient light. Then what exactly your smartphone is doing is, whenever you will taking the photograph in that particular scenario, then it will capture the different photos, different frames of that static image in the different with a different exposure. So let's say in this particular area, this area is a little bit of dark, but this area is little bit of bright. Then it will take the different images of the different particular area at very high speed. So then they will combine it, and then it will produce the final image. So resulting image will be a much better if you compare it with the raw photographs in terms of colors, brightness, exposure, etc. So this is what exactly HDR is doing, and HDR thereby improves the overall the camera capabilities and the image processing of any smartphone without using any major hardware. But with this advantage, there is a disadvantage of the HDR as well, because the HDR takes too much power and too much memory for what it is taking. For an example, it will take a lots of shots, and problem is whenever you will shoot any kind of a moving object in the HDR mode, then there will be a ghosting or the blurring effect, because the how exactly HDR works is it will shoot frame by frame. For an example, if the one frame is continue to shoot, and then when it will end, then it will start to take a photograph with the another exposure, and then it will take the third photograph with the another type of exposure. So this is the way of taking the HDR photograph. It will it have to complete the one frame after before the starting new frame. So in between, if any movement occurs, then your photograph might become blur or not that great quality. Now with the Straggered HDR, what Google is doing is, it will not your smartphone will not be waiting for the to complete the one what you say shots of an exposure. It will immediately starts once your smartphone is taking the one shot of image, so that gap between the two shots of different exposure is minimized, and that will reduce the chances of ghosting and stuff, and it will also reduce the what you say actual power consumption and the overall efficiency of your smartphone. For an example, the Samsung claims that with this staggered HDR mode, power consumption can be what you say reduce up to 24%, which is actually a very nice thing. With the staggered HDR, your smartphone sensor will be fully what you say used. So upper part of your smartphone sensor, the middle part and the bottom part, and each and every portion which can be maximum used, they will fully be optimized with respect to your what you say smartphone photography, and that will be a very efficient work of any smartphone camera module, other than if you compare it with the what you say HDR mode. Also, with the staggered HDR mode, there will be a three different exposure, like a short exposure, medium exposure, and the long exposure. So with the short exposure, in between the short exposure and what you say long exposure, there will be a one shot which is a medium exposure, which combines both the what you say good amount of detail of the short exposure as well as the long exposure. So this is the big advantage which is not present in the what you say a normal HDR, which is not taking the advantage of this technique, and in that way the staggered HDR will be much improved technique to take photos in the specifically low light and the areas where the what you say a background is too much of bright. So guys, that was all about the staggered HDR. I hope you have liked this video, and whatever I have explained in this video was useful to you. What do you think about this Google's new technique? And let me know in the comment box below if you have any still questions regarding the same. And if you have liked this video, as always, share it and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye, take care.